Good evening. Our news summary for this Tuesday, 15th of July. The Public Service Bureau has said that the circular it published on June the 20th this year regarding the participation of public sector employees as candidates in the National Assembly and presidential elections refers to the one issued in 2016. In a press conference this morning, the Chief Secretary of the Public Service Bureau, Sheila Mohedin, said that the objective of this circular is to preserve the political neutrality and operational integrity of the public service while upholding employees' constitutional rights to participate in democratic processes. Thus, the reason why public sector employees who are interested in participating in elections are asked to take unpaid leave. She also said that compared to the circular issued in 2016, the one issued this year is more detailed, providing information for potential candidates.
We have reflected and we assume that maybe there will be public officers that may aspire for the office of the president and the office of the vice president, not just for the National Assembly. And if this is the case, they will also need to take unpaid leave, just like public officers aspiring to become MNA. So we have added this to the circular. Additional to that, we have given certain procedures. For example, what happens if they are elected, what happens if they are not elected. And also, we have looked at the definition of public officers in the Constitution, as well as in the Code of Ethics for public officers, and any person, be it from the private sector or from the public service who sits on board councils, are also deemed public officers because they are discharging a public function, and therefore they as well will need to relinquish their roles on boards and council until the election process is over. So basically, in principles, there are no major differences between the two circulars. What has happened in 2025, we have just provided additional information.
The National Assembly of Seychelles says that the participation of MNA Andy Labote of the LDS side in a gathering of a 6 African countries pro-Israel parliamentary group was an individual and personal engagement and not on behalf of the National Assembly. The Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Roger Mancienne, issued a communiqué which was read at the start of this morning's session. It was Deputy Speaker Gervais Henry who read what he called the National Assembly of Seychelles' position on a news article referring to pro-Israel parliamentary group which is being circulated on social media. No debate was allowed on the matter.
The article is wrong in stating that Seychelles is among 6 countries that have established parliamentary groups for the purpose of strengthening ties with Israel. It is acknowledged that a member of the National Assembly of Seychelles is pictured with the article and attended a meeting overseas recently. This was, however, an individual and personal engagement and in no way involves the National Assembly of Seychelles. No group of the description conveyed in the article has been formed in the name of the National Assembly of Seychelles. The National Assembly of Seychelles' position on any issue related to Israel will reflect the foreign policy of the government of Seychelles as formulated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This policy supports the efforts to reach a lasting ceasefire that will bring the end of hostilities in Gaza and elsewhere in the region, the release of all hostages, and peace and stability in the region. The Speaker has also added, according to the member concerned, Honorable Andy Labonte, this meeting took place in November 2024. He has requested absence to attend a meeting connected to a religious movement Honorable Labonte has made no request to join any parliamentary group. End of statement.
Negotiations on the future provision of dialysis services are still ongoing. The Ministry of Health is expected to reach a final decision early next year. The Minister for Health, Peggy Vidot, made the statement during the question session in the National Assembly this morning. She said 3 contractors are involved in the negotiations. Minister Vidot also noted that alongside the ongoing negotiations, the Healthcare Agency has launched a comprehensive review to assess the most suitable, cost-effective and sustainable solutions for the country. STC employees will receive their bonus for the year 2024 by the end of August this year. It was Vice President Ahmed Afif who made this statement before the National Assembly this morning while answering a private notice question from the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Sébastien Pillet. Mr. Pillet wanted to know when the bonus would be paid following an internal communication by STC that bonuses would not be paid as planned due to unforeseen delays in relation to the audit of the company's financial account. Vice President Afif was accompanied by STC's CEO, Ashik Hassan. The National Assembly has also approved amendments to the law on salaries of constitutional appointees. In particular, the amendment addresses pension age for ambassadors and high commissioners, which is different from other individuals who fall under constitutional appointments. During the session, the Vice President described this provision in the law as an anomaly and said it shouldn't have been in the law. He said this had to be rectified. The session on the bill was very brief, as members decided there was no need to go through the committee stage. The bill was approved by 24 members, with 4 abstentions. The Financial Stability Committee has presented its report to the media today with details on the country's overall financial state, the risks that the sector faces and can face, and plans for the short and long-term future. On this committee, there are representatives of the Central Bank, the Deputy Governor, Brian Comitan, the Director of the FIU, Richard Rampal, the Chief Executive Officer of FSA, Randolph Samson, and the Secretary of State in the Finance Department, Patrick Payette. Caroline Abel, who is the chairperson of the committee, where she is a representative of the state of the country's economy, says that the country's financial sector is doing well.
The assessment has shown that the financial system is stable and resilient for the economic realities that we have. The main activities of the committee was to finalize the MOU for exchange of work that we do between the members. And also, as a legal requirement, we produced the first report under the new law. We also approved the key pillars for the design of the financial stability strategy. These are mainly related to technology, financial integrity, financial market infrastructure, and also the topic of climate. How do we make sure that this is enshrined in the work that we do? We also started the awareness campaign towards the end of the year to educate the public of what is financial stability and why we need to have it. We also analyzed the skills required by our technical team, and we've set up a training fund that will cover for the cost of the training that the staff will have to undertake. And in the year, we had a first course on climate risk for the staff of the Central Bank and the FSA that covered mainly the banks and insurance companies. We did 2 surveys in checking if financial institutions have started to use AI in the provision of financial services, and that we did for banks and insurance companies. The results from the survey showed that institutions have started to use such tools, even though at a minimum level. So we will continue to monitor this use and provide the necessary guidance.
The Ministry of Education is celebrating Career Week as of today until Friday, and this annual activity has brought a new aspect to the World Youth Skills Day. Each young person in the vocational centres had the opportunity to demonstrate their skills they have learned at their respective schools to showcase in this year's Careers Week. The theme this year is the same as last year's, to make informed career choices for a prosperous future. As the 15th of July is also World Youth Skills Day, this has been incorporated with the usual career fair. And this brings us to the end of this news summary for this evening. Have a very pleasant evening.